Hello and welcome to Neo-Geo Classics Revamped. In this first installment, I'm taking a look at Metal Slug Super Vehicle 001, released by Nazca in 1996. Metal Slug was released 6 years into the Neo-Geo's life, yet is the game that many people first think of when they think of the Neo-Geo. Metal Slug is a similar action game to games like Mega Man or even Contra, but what really separates it from those games is the absolutely absurd amount of detail and polish in the sprites in this game. Metal Slug has so much animation, you'd think that this was a cartoon made by Disney. The sprite animation here is just so top-notch that this is about the pinnacle of how good sprites can possibly get. The detail here is so amazing, you know, that this is a game that really does take advantage of what the Neo-Geo hardware was capable of, and is something that was simply not possible on the 16-bit platforms such as the Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis. Metal Slug was an exclusive for the Neo-Geo for many years, but as the Neo-Geo sales started to decline, eventually was ported to other systems such as the Sega Saturn and the PlayStation, and you can also find it on the PS2, probably the PS3, other places as well nowadays because Neo Geo games can be emulated. But, back in the day, this was an amazing game that you absolutely had to go to the arcades and experience. Or if you were crazy enough to own a Neo Geo AES, I guess you could play it at home too, but yeah. Even today, the AES version of Metal Slug is by far one of the most expensive games that you'll ever come across. If you want a copy, basically good luck, because yeesh, the prices are crazy. But you know what? The prices are justifiably crazy, because this is an expensive game that's actually worth the price, because my god, is this game amazing. Metal Slug is to Contra what sort of Contra is to Combat for the Atari 2600. It is so much beyond, what you'd expect from a game like this. It's just, non-stop action that's so crazy. There's so much action in the game. So I'm in what's called the Metal Slug, which is the name of the tank, which can both fire a turret and have a laser that can be fired in any direction. The game is so much fun, it's so absurd, and you know what? The game is so over the top that everything that happens in the game, like, eventually you'd be saying, like, oh, come on, what's gonna happen next? They can't possibly top this, and then they constantly do. It's very easy to see why Metal Slug became what most people, first think of when they think of the Neo-Geo. Because, yeah, the Neo-Geo had a lot of fighting games and a lot of, like, action games before Metal Slug, but this is the game that really put the Neo-Geo on the map for a lot of people. The first Metal Slug, suffers a bit of slowdown, but, that's a little bit to be expected, because this is a game that kind of pushes the Neo-Geo in ways that previous Neo-Geo games never tried. It plays a lot like Contra does, but, if you're going to get into the Contra versus Metal Slug debate, I'm firmly in the Metal Slug camp, because as much as I like Contra, Contra is a really hard game that doesn't have the charm that Metal Slug has. Throughout the late 90s, the Metal Slug series would become, a staple of the Neo-Geo and SNK as a whole, and, they'd released game after game, and, Metal Slug 2 would come out, and then Metal Slug X, which was basically a bug-fixed and speed-fixed version of Metal Slug 2. Then Metal Slug 3, and Metal Slug 4, Metal Slug 5, and then Metal Slug 6, and and then Metal Slug 7 came out for the DS, and then it came out for the PSP and 360. It was called Metal Slug XX. But whatever version of Metal Slug you're gonna play, you're gonna get an amazing game. There were even titles for the Neo Geo Pocket, which were Metal Slug First Mission and Second Mission, and you know what? Those games are also quite amazing. They're not quite as graphically impressive, obviously, but at the same time, you know, for the Neo-Geo Pocket, they are amazing games. So really, what I'm telling you guys is, if you have some way to play this game, definitely play it. This is a must-have Neo-Geo game. There's so much to see and so much to do in this game, you know, that, you know, I'm not only just now going to be talking about the gameplay. So you have basically these refugees that you're constantly saving, and when you save them, they drop weapons you can pick up. You know, you get power-ups such as rocket launchers and heavy machine guns, and you know, there's so much stuff to see in this game, and the arsenal of weapons that you get are so much fun, but you would lose them as soon as you die, so you gotta be careful not to die, but man, this game is great. You can throw grenades, there's a dedicated grenade button. Otherwise, it kind of plays just like Contra does, except that, you know, it's so much crazier than Contra. I love the shotgun. I mean, who wouldn't? Just look at that animation. Metal Slug is just so cartoony and so over the top and awesome. It's, you know, kind of crazy to think that this game came out in 1996, because this is the type of, you know, game that you would expect maybe nowadays on, like, you know, the PS3 or, you know, something like that. You know, if you were going to say a beautiful 2D game that's, you know, got like a massive budget in HD and all that. You know, this is the type of game that you would see from them. So, you know, Nazca, I really got to tip my hat to you guys, because this is an amazing game. And you know what, it's also really hard. You know, of course it's hard because it's an arcade game, but you know, it just needs to be said that, you know, don't expect this game to be a cakewalk. I think the PlayStation and Saturn versions that came out later had a difficulty select switch or option that allowed you to adjust the difficulty, and or maybe the stages were different or something. I don't remember exactly, but you know, I'm speaking just as from this arcade version that it's crazy. So right now I've just got my my hand pistol, and hand pistol is not very powerful, obviously, and makes taking out enemies rather difficult. Now, unfortunately, this version of Metal Slug is censored. You know, maybe I can change that, like some sort of setting or something, because, you know, normally when you kill the enemies, they're supposed to, you know, drop red blood. But it seems here that you're dropping smoke, so I don't know if this is like the AES censored version as opposed to the MVS original. But it should be running in MVS mode. So I don't get it, because I can do it for Metal Slug X, and Metal Slug 3, and Metal Slug 4, you know, and Metal Slug 5, those all have blood, but not the original Metal Slug for some reason. But anyway, the point is that not the blood, not that the blood matters. I'm just saying, you know, that it's just something to point out. Oh man, I love Metal Slug. Well, anyway guys, that'll about do it for today's video, so thanks for watching. If you have any questions about the original Metal Slug, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. And, you know, please hit the like button, because hitting the like button helps support my channel and lets me know that you guys want to see more videos like this. So until next time guys, I'm going to be posting some more Neo-Geo classics in the future, and, you know, they're all going to be now in beautiful HD, so hooray for that. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and you guys take care.